This video goes over solving equations with fractions. So here are the steps that we're going to follow for each equation. So in example 1a, the first thing I'm going to do is clear the fractions by multiplying all the terms by a common denominator. Here I only have one fraction and the denominator is 5. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 5. I multiply by 5 and divide by 5. So that leaves me with x on the left side and 20 on the right hand side. In example B, now I've got two denominators, a 5 and a 3. So my common denominator between those two is 15. So I'm going to multiply each term by 15. So multiplying that out, I'm going to have 15 over 5x minus 30 equals 15 over 3x. Now, as long as I've multiplied correctly, I should be able to complete all of my divisions. So 15 divided by 5 is 3x, minus 30 stays the same. 15 divided by 3 is 5x. Now it looks like an equation that we've seen before. I'm going to take my minus 30, move it over to the right and change the sign. And then I'm going to take my 5x and move it over to the left and change the sign. So now I have 3x minus 5x equals 30, which I can then simplify into minus 2x equals 30. Dividing both sides by the number in front of the x, which is minus 2, gives me an answer of x equals negative 15. Let's do another example. Here I've got three denominators. My common denominator between those three numbers is 6. They all can be multiplied by a number to get to 6. And so I'm going to multiply each term by my common denominator, which is 6. So in my first one, I would have 6x over 3, 18x over 2, 6 over 6, minus 6x. Now I'm going to go through and do all my divisions. So 6 over 3 is 2x. 18 divided by 2 is 9x. 6 over 6 is 1. And then my 6x is the same as is. So the only thing I have to move over here is my minus 6x because I want all the variables on the left-hand side. I'm going to collect my like terms. So minus 7x plus 6x is minus 1x. Now I'm going to divide by the number in front of the x, which gives me x equals minus 1. Example D, I've got a 5 and a 3 again. So I'm going to multiply both of them by 15, making sure that I get all the terms by 15. Multiplying that together gives me 60k over 5 minus 60 equals 15k over 3. Doing my divisions, I get 12k minus 60 equals 5k. Now I'm going to move my numbers to the right-hand side and my variables to the left-hand side. So 12k minus 5k is equal to 60. And then I've got 7k equals 60. Dividing by the number in front of the k is going to give me a fraction, which is okay. Now my next two examples look a little bit different because now I have two terms on the top. So I'm still going to multiply by the common denominator. In between 3 and 9, my common denominator is 9. So I'm going to multiply the left by 9 and the right by 9. Multiplying that out gives me 9 times x minus 6 divided by 3, and then 9 times x plus 8 divided by 9. Because there are two terms in the top, they are affected, both of them, when I multiply by that common denominator, which is why I've left them in the brackets. Before I expand, I'm going to do my division. So 9 divided by 3 leaves me with 3. 9 divided by 9 leaves me with 1. And now I can expand. So 3 times x and 3 times minus 6. And then I've got 1 times x and 1 times 8. So x plus 8. Now I can move my numbers to the right-hand side and my variables to the left-hand side, which gives me 3x minus 8 equals 8 plus 18. Now I've got 2x on the left, 26 on the right, and I can divide by the number in front of the x, leaving me with x equals 13. Now this example is also asking me to check, which means that I'm going to check the left side and the right side. So my original left-hand side of the equation is x minus 6 over 3. My original right-hand side is x plus 8 over 9. And I think the answer is 13. So that is what I'm going to put in for x. So on my left-hand side, I get 7 over 3. On the right-hand side, I'm going to get 22 over 9, which at first glance doesn't look like 7 over 3. But I can reduce this fraction by dividing the top and the bottom by 3. Oh, and I think I should have 21 here. Okay, by dividing them by 3. And when I do that, I do get 7 over 3. So my left side equals the right side. So that means that x equals 13. Okay, last example. I've got another one with 2 terms on the top. I'm still going to multiply by the common denominator. Between 6 and 4, the common denominator is 12, and so I'm going to multiply each term by 12. Keeping the brackets in the top, I've got 12 times 5x minus 2 over 6, minus 12 times x plus 3 over 4, equals 12 on the right-hand side. Now I'm going to do my division. So 12 divided by 6 leaves me with 2. Times 5x minus 2. 12 divided by 4 gives me 3 times x plus 3 equals 12. Now I have an equation with brackets. I want to expand and simplify. So 10x minus 4 minus 3x minus 9 equals 12. Collecting like terms gives me 7x minus 13 equals 12. Now I can move my number over to the right-hand side, which gives me 7x equals, 12 plus 13. 7x equals 25, which gives me another fraction, which is okay. I'm just going to leave that as is, 25 over 7 as my